What's up, faithful? It's your boy, Austin Hayter, Nathaniel Hewley, along with Florida Mike. Beto will be joining us soon. He's, I don't know, finishing dinner or something. I don't know. Mike just got back a few days ago from California. How was the trip, man?
Indeed. Man, I tell you what, it was the best trip I had in a very long time. I've always dreamed of going out to San Francisco since I was a kid growing up in Germany. So that was a very long time. That's pretty much my entire life. And I was finally able to have that happen. And I felt like a kid in the candy store. I mean, the first time I saw the Golden Gate Bridge on my birthday, it was like, wow, And seeing some of the tourist stuff that they had to do in the city was nice. But the biggest thing, of course, was going to the 49ers and Cardinals game, even though we didn't win. Being with the Niner faithful was the one of the best experiences. It felt like a mecca because in Florida, although we have a lot of Niner fans here with the Niner chapters, it's great. But being in a mecca full of Cali, full of Niner faithful everywhere, where they're to dominate our fan base, it's even better. So I tell you what, Lord will, I will be out in San Francisco again, and hopefully, if anybody on this podcast is in the Bay Area or going to San Francisco, maybe we can connect and link because I met some great fans out there and established some great relationships, and I had a blast.
That's good. Well, I get to turn it around. I'm headed out a week from tomorrow, and I'm coming out to Orlando, and we're gonna head out to that Jacksonville Niners game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That's right. You guys heard it correct. So if you're on the East Coast and it's late, we're gonna say it again. I just went to California, and Nate's coming to Florida.
Yeah.
That's right. You heard it for the
Now,
Jacksonville San Francisco game.
yeah. So unfortunately, we weren't able to meet up while you were out here because I'm still a good 5.5 hour drive away from San Francisco. Yeah, I'm in Southern
Hmm.
California, near the LA area, and
Hmm.
but we will definitely be meeting up when I come out
Absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys stay tuned on this podcast because me and Boston Hater are going to be together representing San Francisco versus them, uh, whatever they call themselves. Oh, yeah, Jacksonville. And we will have the Niner invasion in Jacksonville. So my chapter in Orlando will be representing real hard in Jacksonville, showing how the Bay Area is a universal thing, not just California.
Yeah. So uh, anyway, looking forward to that. I think we have a couple of people that are um, that are normally in the chat that pretty religiously watch the show that are going to be there as well. I believe Dina said she was going to be there. I think she's one of them. I'm pretty sure she will be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I actually gonna message Dina too before the game to make sure we can all get up. And Dina, I'm gonna let you know what tailgate. I'm actually gonna be all over the place, but I have a specific tailgate with my chapter, and I got a friend that's a Jaguars fan. I'm gonna go take over their tailgate too, so we'll be all over. But I'll let you know that those details. So, Boston Hater, man, how was your day today? First and foremost, man.
Um, Pretty good. One of those typical busy days whenever it's my day off, I feel like I do more than when I'm at work. So it
Yeah,
like
I
one of
know
those
that feeling.
days I'm rushing around, and it's like just to get to the show, it's like, I'm scrambling around trying to get everything together, so that I don't look like I'm fumbling through stuff. And yeah, so I was able to get it together, and know, when we were ready to go on air, because we had a few technical difficulties, but we were ready to go. I had it together. Yeah,
Right
sometimes
on, right on.
yeah, if we had a video, it'd be a comedy sometimes of me trying to scramble to get it together when when the show's about to start. But yeah,
Yeah, right on. I do want to acknowledge all the guests that are in coming in. Appreciate you guys taking some time and chiming in with us this evening. We know it's late for some people on the East Coast on the 10:48 time, like I'm running. But we appreciate you tuning in because that's not a love. What's up, Kathy? I am drinking on some German beer. This beer is not really strong as most German beers. It's kind of something cool and light. But however, I could put it with some pear schnapps and make it a little bit strong and have some fun with it. But tonight I'm just relaxing. But yeah, but thank you all for tuning in and everybody who's joining. So we appreciate you. We're gonna give you a good show. So let's get into it. We want to recap a little bit about this game. I was there to see it personally. Now, when you're in person at a game, there's a lot going on. You got the fans, you got chanting. You get up and during the timeouts or commercials, you might go out somewhere, you might miss something. But for the most part, I pretty much saw every single play. Um, so me watching it in person is different than you guys watching it on television. What did you guys see? Because I'm gonna tell you what I saw, and I want to see if you guys saw some more than I did. Um, Defensively, I mean, we just secondary, we just didn't play good. As expected. Me and Boston Hater were talking about this off air, and we know that we didn't have Jimmy Ward, so that contributed to a lot of drop offs back there in the coverage when you have a starter guy out. But offensively, what I really saw and the fans reacted to a lot was the two fumbles, and did we lost by 14 if I'm not mistaken.
and
So you
two red zone fumbles at that.
Right. We're in the red zone and we have two fumbles. And you talk about points off the board. That could have been 14 points, which would have made that a different ball game. So it makes you wonder. I went away like more mad at what if than I did than we lost. I felt like I know we lost, but I felt like, man, we beat ourselves more than we lost. That's how I felt. Like I don't feel like Arizona had to do much of anything significant to pull out that victory. I felt like we hurt ourselves and they just played mistake free or capitalized on our turnovers. What's you guys' assessment out there, Boston Hater? We'll start with you, of course.
Okay, well, the first thing that I saw was the secondary got gashed, and one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest issues when we're talking about the big plays, uh,
Bruh.
the chunk plays,
Uh huh.
in almost every one of those situations, the fact that number 32 Wilson was out of place was a big issue. Uh, you know, I'm watching a 32-yard run going between the tackles, and I'm watching him get blocked by a wide receiver out wide. Why is the single high safety getting blocked by a wide receiver out outside of the tackle box? What is he doing? And there were a number of these types of plays where he was out of position, uh, times where you really say, "Where's Jimmy Ward?" Because Jimmy Ward is pretty much always in the right position. He might not, be stripping the ball and creating fumbles and intercepting ball, but he's always there to make that sure tackle when they get by our other lines of defense. He's the last one there. He is a sure tackler, and he's always where he belongs. So that was a big difference. Those chunk plays made things easier for them because we had a lot of them. I mean, he was responsible for about five or six on his own. Um, and we had a lot of poor tackling just in general, which
Yeah.
really is not our MO. So it was kind of surprising that there was
Right.
so much of it. you know. And people that don't usually have a problem with it were having that issue. Uh, and as far as people saying things about lack of passion, I mean, I didn't see any lack of effort. There was all kinds of effort. I mean, guys were running around, flying. They were just almost running wild out there unconsciously. Yeah. I mean, there was no lack of energy or you didn't see sense of urgency. What you saw was a bunch of undisciplined uh people running all over the place is what you saw. Um Offensively, I still have a little bit of issue with the play calling, but I can't really put too much on it this time because they were so far behind early that you really didn't have a choice but to throw the football to try to keep in the game. And really, it puts a lot of stress on the pass protection when they know you're throwing the ball. So, we had some difficulties in protection. Um, so outside of that, yeah, yeah, everybody wants to blame the coach. Coach don't play football. Coaches don't overrun plays. Coaches don't drop passes. You know, yeah, no, it's not coaching. That had nothing to do with coaching. What that had to do with is you had a bunch of people, especially on that defensive side of the ball. You were missing numerous players from the starting lineup, and they played a terrible game. So you can't just take somebody, throw them out there, and uh, just magically hope that they're going to be something that they're not. Like Wilson, I'm sorry, just not very good. I never thought he was very good. So he finally got to play in a San Francisco uniform, and he just, in the last game and a half, just proved what we already know. So that's not an issue. Um, and talking about running against a weak run defense, well, yeah, their run defense is weak. But the thing is, you're down by 17 points. You're not going to run the football. It's only going the wrong way. And it only got worse. You were down by 17. You cut it to 10. Then you were down by 17 again. Then you were down 31-7 by 24. Yeah, that's not the place that you want to take chunks of 7 and 6. And that's exactly what they want you to do. And they probably would have gave you that. So it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Those are valid points. I mean, overall, it was another loss at home. I don't believe this season we won a home game yet. Correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this real quick because I've heard this from somebody I know. Um, People talking about this Levi Stadium curse, man. Let's cut it out. Like, if there was a Levi Stadium curse, where was that curse when we went 13-3? You know, there is no such thing, man.
I was
So
going to say,
what it is,
yeah, we played in Levi Stadium that year, by the way.
yeah,
For
we
those
sure did.
yeah,
I mean, we had a pretty damn good curse to go 13-3 into the Super Bowl, but um, I think San Francisco just has to get healthy as possible, and we have to play consistent. And obviously, injuries are once again a factor, but this year I feel like our offense is a lot more capable of doing better because they have more availability than the defense. And I would like to see Brendan Ayuk just continue to grow and get better each week. And I would also like to see us continue being more balanced and just executing, man. Like when we go, when we drive the ball and fumble twice, I mean that just kills the momentum. That kills the chances we have to score. So I just want to see us execute, man. And I think it would have been a different ball game if we do not fumble the ball. So granted, Kittle first came back, I believe. You know, probably a little rusty here and there, but he's a veteran. He knows how to come back and play. But no excuses. I mean, if we fumble a couple of times in critical situations, we are not putting ourselves in the best position to win a game because it's not like our defense is going to take over and say we'll get the ball back. They're not really reliable in that particular game. So our offense is the one that needed to sustain more than anything, and they didn't. So hopefully going forward, we can do a better job of securing football. And I believe if we do not beat ourselves, we have a good chance to beat the Rams. I don't give a damn who they got. We're still a good football team, well coached, and at the end of the day, it's 11 on 11, not name brands and whatever.
Well,
It's
yeah,
simply 11 on 11.
it's interesting that you bring up name brands. I actually, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna play with this, but I'm gonna breach this subject because I'm kind of annoyed by the whole thing.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, all I see is a bunch of people running around talking about, oh, the Rams they can sign anybody. They can. They're signing nobody. Look, Von Miller is a decent rotational piece. But you're listening to the name Von Miller and you're thinking, oh, the guy in the Super Bowl against Carolina. He's not that guy. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah. So what? It's a name. Odell Beckham. There's the other one. Odell Beckham is not the Odell Beckham you remember that was catching passes from Eli Manning. As a matter of fact, in the time that he's been with the Cleveland Browns, this team in every passing category when he's on the field is worse than when he's not on the field. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you have cojones like my clown co-host is putting in there. The bottom line is you have to make choices. You know, you have to when you're sitting up there, if you shoot your gun and you're putting this money out and you're going to spend, I don't know, what is it? Potentially $4.5 million for a half season for what's probably going to turn out to be a third wide receiver. That's terrible, irresponsible. You know what? He hasn't been, and no, they have not always been competitive. That is nonsense. Stop it. The Rams have been to the playoffs how many times in the last, let's just throw it out there, since 2005? Three times. Three. Come on now. Just because they've got a good coach, and I give them credit for that. I don't think he's as good as ours, but they have a good coach. Um, and he was able to take a team that had talent that was not winning and get some success out of that. But here's the thing: when you shoot your gun and you shoot it empty, like they're doing, eventually that catches up with you. So, what you're looking at is you're trying to put it in a box. These 5 years, these 5 years. Kyle Shanahan, uh, McVay, they're not equal. They didn't come on the same playing field. McVay had a team when he got there. Kyle Shanahan needed 2 seasons of trying to build a team before the third year he actually had a team. And then in his fourth year, they all got hurt. So, are we really trying to compare the two across the board? No, you really can't. It's not a fair comparison. But if you keep shooting your shot, now you're going to be there pulling the trigger to an empty gun. And it's only a matter of time, you know. And also that speak up. You don't have to put it all in the comments. Speak up.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah. Because, if you're shooting constantly and you're shooting empty, see, there's a difference between shooting when you see the target and it's a viable target and just mag dumping ta, 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 like the Rams. And you know what happens? Then you end up sucking for 5, 6, 7 years. And that's coming for them. It absolutely is coming. Or more. I
No,
don't know.
if they win the Super Bowl this year, no,
Nah,
I'm just
miss,
saying if they win the
miss me.
Super Bowl
Not happening.
and
They're
they
not
and
good
they,
enough.
and they don't, they're not relevant for the next 5 6 years. The fans don't care. They got a Super Bowl. They got to enjoy a Super Bowl ring and a
Let's
parade.
let me put that in perspective. Fans of teams that are perennial losers, they might not care. Like I said, 20 years, 3 playoff trips, they might not care. But you know what? Uh there's certain franchises that aren't accustomed to that, that aren't going for that. Green Bay is one of them. Pittsburgh's one of them. San Francisco is one of them. We're not them. This is Tampa Bay behavior. Go all out when you have the chance, win one, and then goodbye for the next decade. Play that game. I don't want to be any part of that. That's that's for these teams that are used to losing. It's what they do.
Now, I understand where you're coming from, and you make perfect sense. You got to build for the future, but you understand. I think myself, you, and Mike were spoiled in a sense that we got the privilege of watching the Niners win Super Bowls. We got the privilege of seeing the Lombardi Trophy lifted. We got the opportunity, at least I did, to go to the parade in San Francisco and watch them parade. Okay,
I went
a
to a
lot of
few.
these 49er fans haven't had that experience, and they want to feel it. So I understand logically you want to build a team for years to come, but any
But you
fan base will
don't
tell you, I want a
build
trophy today, even if we lose for the next 10 years.
but you don't build by running after garbage. You know what? I'm not, and I'm not overstating garbage because I'm irritated by the whole thing. But if you're getting some average mid-level players, role players, because that's what they are, role players with all pro names, that is not the answer. That is not what's going to change your team. It's not going to change the Rams either.
Well, adding OBJ to the Rams this season is no different than when we added Emmanuel Sanders during the
Whoa,
2019.
wrong.
Other than
Sanders,
experience, I understand.
Emmanuel Sanders is better than what Odell Beckham was. This is about the equivalent of adding Randy Moss.
So now let's keep it real. OBJ doesn't have to come in and be the hero or be that
Oh,
number
no, no,
one.
no, no, no.
He's
Wait,
gonna
wait.
he's gonna compliment Robert Woods and
Uh-uh.
Cooper Cup.
No, 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 no,
You just don't like the Rams.
no. Oh, I have no issue with this. See, I know how to be impartial when it comes to this. And I'm not a real, I have a little dislike for the Rams. It's not like the Patriots, but,
Hmm.
you know, it's very minute. It doesn't really affect me. Uh, the bottom line is this: you're going to say that he's going to be a contributor?
You don't think
Well,
he's not?
okay. So what? Stop acting like he's going to reinvent the wheel, like he's going to be this number one receiver and he's going to take over like he's better than the two
But
dudes that are already there because
you
he's
don't.
not.
But you don't know that
I can see. I know
he is good
football.
enough to
All I
play
got to do
good.
is look at football. And guess what? He's not better than those two.
He don't
He's
need
been
to be
playing
better
for the
though.
last 4 years and he's in Cleveland. He is not better than those two. There is nothing that says that when you've got receivers around you that are supposedly not better than you, outplaying you thoroughly and
So
looking good.
how does he hurt the team being on the, I mean, whether he's not better, you're
Working.
right, he's not better than Robert Woods and Cooper Cup to your opinion. But bringing
That's
him
not
in,
an opinion.
how does he hurt that
Look at
offense?
football. You know football. Come on. You're going to tell me that he's better than either one of those guys?
No, no, it's not about being better, it's about complementing that offense and helping that
Compliment.
offense to get better.
If you're complimenting them, okay, you can give them a little bit of something. But it's like Kendrick Bourne complimented our offense.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big
yeah.
difference.
Are you sure? Have you
Yes.
watched Odell Beckham in the last 2 years? Have you watched
He's
him?
been in Cleveland for the last 2 years.
And Cleveland has been a good team for the last 2 years. Uh-huh.
I mean,
You know,
if
damn near beat
if he
Kansas
stinks it
City
up
in the
in the Rams, I don't care. I mean, he's not my the Rams are not my team, so I'm just saying it doesn't hurt. But if he stinks it up in there, doesn't do nothing. I'm I think the Von Miller's was a better choice defensive pickup
Von Miller
than
is serviceable. Von Miller can rush the passer still. He doesn't rush him like he used to, but he can rush the passer. Odell Beckham looks lost half the time. That's
yeah.
not the receiver I remember in New York. That doesn't even look like the same guy.
Do you think a lot of these fans are actually watching Odell play in Cleveland?
No, they're absolutely
Because
not.
because
Because if they
based
did,
on here's
they'd be like, eh,
what I see out of the Niner fans is a chain reaction. Every time a big brand name free agency comes up, they want to get them. So every time the Niners are
absolutely.
like for whatever on all these free agents, not just this year, but even in past years, the Niner there are a segment of Niner fans that just go out and look like, hey, we're not making progress. What's going on? Well, here's the thing. I hear Niner fans saying those comments, and then they're saying we don't draft well. Well, a lot of our team has been injured, so it's not like you had the opportunity to see a lot of these draftees play because they've been hurt. Last year, we everyone was decimated. So if you're really going to use that against us and say, "Oh, well, we should have did this," well, bring in OBJ. How does Brendan Ayuk develop? Who's more of a future fit for the 49ers, assuming he continues to grow. He's starting to show some flashes again, like last year. So if you bring OBJ at the time that he's starting to get more confident and execute, you think that's going to help his growth? There are going to be fans that say they don't care. It's OBJ. He's this. He's that. Well, let's see how good he is with the Rams because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
older. He hasn't had the same production. Now, me personally, I don't believe in saying what a player will or will not do until he actually suits up. To be fair, but if you do believe that he's going to be effective or not ineffective, I'm just going to say we shall see for the rest of the season.
no. And let me kind of put what my point is to this. This guy has got a half a season contract that could potentially pay him $4.5 million. So we're talking about a season average for if he turns out to be productive like a third wide receiver, $9 million third wide receiver. Just because his name is Odell Beckham Jr. Do you know how many highly productive third receivers you could get for $9 million? Usually two, sometimes more. You know, I don't get what the hype is. You know, Deshaun Jackson gave them something that they didn't. He might be able to give them what Deshaun Jackson gave them, and hopefully with less attitude, so you don't get cut. Because that's
Right.
the thing that Deshaun Jackson had. There was all this rift between him and the coaching staff, and
Yeah, that's what I
plays,
heard.
and yeah, so they cut him. But Deshaun Jackson was effective. But was he better than Cooper Cup or Robert Woods?
No,
No.
I
But here's the
agree
thing:
there.
was he $9 million a year? No. So my thing is, they're putting a lot on this that the Rams are mortgaging and mortgaging. He's not gonna give you significantly more than what Deshaun was giving you. You know, and for that price, it's just not worth it. Von Miller, that's kind of a, even though it was a good move and it may help them some, it was a steep price to pay for a half a year rental. A two and a three when you don't have a one already, that's a lot to pay. So you're really pushing all the chips to the middle of the table, hoping to win this year. Now, you've done this before, and you're still paying guys from the last time you did this because Todd Gurley is still making money on the Rams roster and he's not even there. But you know, it's only a matter of time. We're gonna see. They go out there, and when you put your chips in the table like this, I don't care if you win 13 games, 12 games. And you're doing it like this, you win it all. Or you blew it because you did too much. You mortgage in your future over and over. I see their records here for the last 4 years. Okay. And I said since 2005, they made the playoffs three times, right? There they are 2017, 2018, skip 2019 and 2020. And the only reason they made it in 2020 is because they decided to go with the seventh seed that year. Because if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have made that. So, therefore, they had to add a playoff spot to get them in. It's, yeah, yeah, you're seeing that too,
Yeah, that's
Beto?
what I'm trying to. But you know what though? It's a.
That both Mike and I, no,
Oh, I got you. Oh, I got it and I killed it on my damn arm. I'm gonna have to get up. clean this. Kill the fly. The thing is, I come in clear. You guys are blurry, but I had a guest the other day on my show, and he was blurry. He thought it was his internet. He came to find out it wasn't his internet; it was mine.
Mhm.
But I stay clear. That's the weird
Oh,
part. I think if it was my internet that was weak, I would be blurry too, right? Right along with you guys. But I'm seem to be clear.
mhm.
It's like it only likes me.
I don't know.
And right now, I and it's
Okay, well,
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Or no, but I remember I showed you my internet input was pretty high last time. It's been fluctuating. Like right now, it's hitting me only. It's only giving me
Yeah,
11 up,
it's
only 9 up.
mm, yeah. Well,
My apologies. Yeah, it's slow.
uh,
I
that's
don't
not
know.
good.
I don't know if it's because
But
everybody's using the server or not. But
in any event, yeah, I don't know.
I gotta take
But
this off my arm. I'll be
any
right back,
event,
guys.
go ahead, man.
I gotta clean this fly off. Yeah.
All right, but yeah, any event, we have to basically as a team, our team needs to focus on execution, and a lot of the carelessness. Oh my God, that was another thing that really got us bad in this game. Uh, you know, lack of execution when it came to gap discipline on running plays. Uh, secondary discipline uh, in the pass, and we were running into problems with that constantly. We got to shore that up this week. If not, us being out of position like that will get us killed by the Rams. They have enough offense, more than enough offense, to take it to us if we're going to be undisciplined and leave holes for them to just do whatever they want to do to us. Because those making those easy throws, wide open easy throws, man, Colt McCoy looked like a all pro.
He did.
And
He did.
anybody who's watched him knows he's not that good.
I mean, he looked like he came in there and just did better than with Kyler Murray. So, um, but at the end of the day, we got to move on to the next week. Uh, and if we can find a way to pull out a win against the Rams, that would be huge. And hopefully we can beat Jacksonville because it's any given Sunday, man. We should, but man, you never know. Any given Sunday, I don't take nobody, underestimate them.
Yeah, I know that we've had pretty good. We fared pretty well against the Rams. Uh, we pretty much have a win. Somehow we almost know what they're doing before they do it a lot. If we can continue to have that kind of, you know, wins where we're heads up against them, we have a good shot at winning the football game. But we got to play discipline.
Yep, indeed, indeed. Yeah, Corey, I did have an excellent time. Um, the fans showed love, so the tailgate scene made it up for everything. Indeed.
I apologize, guys. I'm irritated.
Yeah, I do see what some of the
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the,
I do see some of the fans are talking about the screen being a little blurry, but
the thing is, it's
it's okay.
the
Shoot,
last
you hear
week.
us, it's all
The last
good.
week
Some of you probably
I've been having double the strength. Last week is like really high. Now it's really low, and it's yeah,
no worries. We'll figure
it's
it out.
frustrating.
They can still hear us, so that's all good. Somebody's driving or exercising right now, listening to the podcast, so they
Yeah.
listening, they all good.
What's up,
But
Christopher?
yeah, so at the end of the day, um, we just got to execute point blank. What's going on, Christian Carver 314? How is San Fran? Are you glad to be? Florida, Mike, how you got to be back in Florida? Yeah, man. I was real good. I was able to come back home and see my dad and my family and everything. So it was great, man. But yeah, when I was out there in San Francisco, I definitely missed loved ones and friends, but I also enjoyed the time away. I got to see a lot of things that I normally don't see, like a lot of hills. Florida is very flat, so to be able to go out there and see hills was pretty cool. Being able to go over the Golden Gate Bridge, something I always wanted to do, finally did it on my birthday, and eating out there on the pier and seeing the 49ers, it was great, man. So if you guys ever get a chance to go visit San Francisco, put it on your bucket list to do. It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
Okay, I want to address this that you got up here. All right, Tom, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want you to go back and I want you to look at that Chip Kelly team, and I want you to look at the personnel on that team. And then I want you to turn around and I want you to look at what we have now. And I want you to really, do you really think it's going there? Yep. I think we might need to go ahead and block Tom. Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Talk about a low blow.
Tom,
Tom, tell me how you
Tom,
really feel.
Tom, that is flat out disrespectful.
Oh,
I don't even know what to say about that.
Hey,
Boston
Tom
Hater
did say he
speechless.
hates Dallas, though. Tom
Yeah.
does say he hates
And
Dallas.
then he says it's awesome. So it's basically like he's saying Boston is awesome. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sick.
Yeah. Tom, you're gonna have to fix it really quick, bro. You're gonna drive him to drinking, and then he's gonna get in his car and drive fast. Um, but anyway, the the Rams are not our problem. They're not our issue. That whatever they do, whether it works out or not, uh, the Niners have more issues at hand. Um, I did like that Brandon Ayuk really stepped up in this game and had a great game. I know we lost, but Brandon Ayuk really stepped up. Um, but we abandoned the run, and I understand we had to because we fall behind because of two turnovers, and that's where people make kind of get confused a little bit. I understood that we haven't been running the ball well prior, but we started to do so, and in this particular game, I don't think he abandoned it just because he wanted to. I think he was forced to try to play catch up, and I think that's where people kind of get a
Absolutely.
mix up of abandoning the run because you need to, and abandoning the run just because you don't want to run. And I think that's what happened against Arizona. They tried to play catch up, and and then a lot of people that want Trey to come in is like, unless Trey plays secondary and replaces Norman or Kirkpatrick, or plays safety and replaces Wilson, what is Trey Lance gonna do that Jimmy didn't do? Jimmy did, other than that bold hit interception
Hold on.
on garbage time, he played it well. Can we honestly agree that we did not lose the game because of Jimmy? We lost it because of the defense.
Hold on. I want to take this a step further. In the last 2 weeks, who
Sorry,
was the
Kathy.
highest ranked quarterback in the NFL, according to not just PFF, but um, also what is the name of that crazy stat? Um, not just the passer rating, but the other one, the one that I'm trying to think of it now.
But to your
It
point,
did cross my
it
mind,
was Jimmy G.
but he's been the highest rated quarterback over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And there
So
were some very good performances outside of him. So just to say that you want to replace him, I mean, you're not going to get any improvement from a rookie that still needs to get his stuff together. I mean, if we're going to put Trey Lance out there, basically what you're saying is this season is a wash. You're only a half game out of playoff contention right now for the last spot, but you want to turn around right now and put in a rookie and start working toward next year. It would at least be practical to wait until you were out of playoff contention to make that decision. Um, so since there's several games left, you got a half a season left, and you're only a half game out of playoff contention. That just doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason to switch your quarterback, especially when over the last couple of weeks, your quarterback's playing pretty well.
Yeah, that makes, yeah, I
If we could
agree.
get the defensive performances that we were getting a couple of weeks prior, like when we played Arizona before, and get the quarterback play from Jimmy that we got the
Yeah, yeah.
last 2 weeks, we'd have beat him back when he didn't play.
That seems to be the
We'd have beat Seattle
that seems to
if we
be
could
the
have got
theme
that.
of this year, bro. It's one department's playing good, the other one isn't. It's like we can't get a complete game overall of all three faces. It's either the defense is not playing good, but the offense is decent, or the offense is not playing and so forth. And I think that's the frustration of this year, that we can't get a complete game from all three faces, in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. I mean, I mean, to me, I look around the league and there are two coaches that are just having a miserable time of it, and I think they're both very good coaches. Kyle Shanahan's one, and the Walrus over there in Kansas City's the other one. He's having a miserable time of it. Yeah, they're 5-4, but oh my god, how terrible they look in winning games. It's like, and that's not a very good record either. 5-4, not very impressive. And at Aaron Rodgers, not that's a whole nother story for another day. I got a whole lot of beef with what he did. But anyway, I think he let down his team. Uh, when it comes to it, had he played, there's no way Kansas City wins that game.
Exactly. Hey, guys, we're gonna go ahead and if it's okay with you, end it now. This is getting bad. You're breaking up, Nate, and it's not on you guys. It's totally on my side. But you
Oh,
are breaking up, so it's not only video but
okay.
audio now. So before this gets even worse, let's go ahead and shut it down, and I'll try to figure out for the next show. Everyone that tuned in, guys, if you guys can hear me clearly, please my apologies on my part for the technical difficulties and the bad stream at the last minute. Truly apologize for the inconvenience. Please continue to tune in to the N.W.A. as we come on every Friday at 7:15. We started a little bit late today, but we truly appreciate you guys being part of the show. Thank you for your support. Is there anything you guys want to say before we call it a night, guys?
It's all about the Bay
Yeah, we
over
need
LA.
we need a
The
lot
Bay beat LA.
of hey,
And
we're gonna
screw the
need a lot of
Rams.
prayer.
Oh, and you guess this game,
No,
yes.
we need to pray, yeah, that we can get uh the offense and the defense to both give us a good game. No major mistakes, uh, solid special teams. If we can get that, we can win this game. But you know what? We have yet to put together a complete game this year. The closest thing to it was Chicago, but we've yet to put together a complete game. And if we can get a complete game together, and that's what we're praying for, we can beat this team.
Yeah, and the thing about Kyle Shanahan, he does know how to outplay McVay. So hopefully he can do some different play calling and kind of utilize our offense. But our right side's definitely going to need to help us out a bit. We'll go ahead and bring you guys another show on next Friday, and hopefully we'll have a better situated show for you guys for your enjoyment. Once again, thank you each and every one of you for showing up. To my boy Florida Mike and Boston Hater, you guys are awesome. My apologies to you guys as well. We'll see you on the next N.W.A. podcast next Friday, God willing, at 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. Until then, enjoy your weekend and go Niners. Peace.